Welcome to 5 Minutes Alone with God. Today we are in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 4. I'm starting in verse 30. Then he said, "To what shall we liken the kingdom of God? Or with what parable shall we picture it? It is like a mustard seed, which when it is sown in the ground, it is smaller than all the seeds on the earth. But when it is sown, it grows up and becomes greater than all the herbs. It shoots out large branches, so that the birds of the air may nest under its shade." And with many such parables he spoke the word to them as they were able to hear it. But without a parable he did not speak to them. And when they were alone, he explained all things to his disciples. And on the same day, when evening had come, he said to them, "Let's cross over to the other side." Now when they had left the multitude, they took him along in a boat as he was, and other little boats were with him also. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves beat into the boat, so that it was already filling. But he was in the stern asleep on a pillow. And they awoke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" And he arose and he rebuked the winds and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. But he said to them, "Why are you so fearful? How is it that you do not have faith?" And they feared exceedingly, for they said to one another, "Who can this be that even the winds and the sea obey him?" Well, what is this passage talking about here? We have a couple things that are going on. One, we have the parable of the mustard seed, and we're told that Jesus spoke to the crowds in parable. Other than that, he never spoke to them in any other manner. So we told parables, and we are told that parables, of course, are pictures of heavenly things, specifically the kingdom of God. We're also told in this passage that they're all in a boat, and a great windstorm arose on the Sea of Galilee. And the fishermen, the disciples, who are professional fishermen, they are afraid that the boat is going to be sunk. And they call for Jesus to help them. And he tells the wind to stop. And it does. And they are amazed because they have never seen anybody have power and control over the weather. So that's what's going on in this passage. So what's some applications that you and I could draw from something like this? Well, one thing that I look at is that I have a God that is in control of the weather. I know it's going to rain. I know it's going to storm. I know there's going to be sunshine, and there's all kinds of weather patterns that we go through in a year. But I have a God who is strong enough to change the weather. So how does that bring me comfort? Well, I'm not at the mercy of whatever the weather is today. I can pray and ask God to intercede on my behalf. I can know that I have a God that is looking out for my best. And he is stronger than what's going on the outside world. And that brings me great comfort. Just because I pray and ask God for a change in weather and he may say no, doesn't mean that he's not stronger than the weather patterns. I trust him that he's got a plan and purpose for everything that takes place. So that's one of the applications that I can draw from this. What type of application are you drawing from this? What truth has God revealed to you that he's going to use to help you in your daily walk? Well, that's our time today. I'll see you tomorrow. Mark chapter 5, verse 1 through 10.